Hi, my name is Mike Baker from Lean Manufacturing Secrets, and in this short video I wanted to go over what is Six Sigma. And these are going to be just some of the basic things that you need to know. And the point of this video is I'm getting a lot of emails and questions and things like that on Six Sigma in combination with Lean, and I just wanted to cover some of the basics of what Six Sigma is. So what is it? Well, it's really a business management strategy, and it was adopted by Motorola in 1986. They're the ones that have initiated this concept from within them as well, and according to some of their statistics, they have saved billions and billions of dollars with this initiative. So the main point that Six Sigma tries to do, one of the overall goals, is it tries to identify and remove any of the causes of defects and errors in the manufacturing process. That's what it tries to do. Now, this business management strategy it's really based on statistics or stats. That's what it's based on, okay? It's derived from something known as process capability stats. Now, you're going to see a Greek symbol that's used, and it's called sigma, so that's where you're going to get the Six Sigma from. All right, it's from that Greek symbol right there. And sigma in this explanation, in this theory, stands for standard deviation, and standard deviation then stands for a measure of variation. So you're basically looking for some sort of variation in a process. Now, the normal distribution curve looks like this, and you may have seen this if you've taken college courses, if you've taken statistics. Most things have a normal distribution curve like this, and what that means is out of a certain amount of pieces made, or as it says, a certain amount of opportunities, 99.73% are going to fall in this section right here, from this 3 sigma all the way over to this 3 sigma. So they're going to fall within there. So what it's saying is, just as I say right here, you're going to have 66,800 defects per million opportunities. Okay? And that seems like a lot, but you're actually talking about a million. Okay? So it's really not that many in the greater scheme of things, but it's still something that you can improve upon. And normal processes fall in that sort of a distribution curve right there. So that's what they're going to fall into, that normal distribution curve. Everything falls underneath that blue. So in going to Six Sigma, you're going to try to extend the process capabilities past this 3 sigma right here and past this 3 sigma, so that everything falls under the same curve, or a much flatter curve. There's not such a big spike that goes up and then comes back down. So let's look at that Six Sigma curve. Okay, this is the Six Sigma curve, and this long flat one right here, this dashed line, is a Six Sigma curve. It goes all the way across, and it's this Six Sigma curve that you're after. And if you can get your process to within that, then that's going to mean what it says here, 99.9997% efficiency, or only 3.4 defects per million opportunities, compared to a normal distribution curve that has 66,000 defects per million opportunities. So a normal distribution curve is actually a 3 sigma curve. Now, so when they talk about Six Sigma, let's get back over here. So when they talk about Six Sigma, what they're talking about is going past this 3 all the way out to 6. Now, there's one thing that's going to happen over a short run. When you first implement something in new process controls and improvement, you're going to at Six Sigma. Everything's going to fall within, and everything's going to run smoothly. Over the long term, you actually end up at about a 4.5 sigma, and that's just because the longer a process runs, the more likely it is to actually incur some sort of defect. So when you look at this little green curve right here that goes up and down, that's sort of your 4.5. So that's your curve shifting some. Your curve is going to shift from a 6 up to about a 4.5. Still a much better improvement than a 3 sigma. You're going to be at about a 4.5 sigma over the long run of the process. But we're mainly focusing on the short term right now, and we're just looking at the basics of Six Sigma and sort of how they come up with it. All right, now we get to this screen. There's two key methods for Six Sigma, and one is called the DMAIC, and the other one is the DMADV. And you may be familiar with these terms. If you're not, then here's a quick just definition of what the letters stand for. You've got define, measure, analyze, improve, and then control. So as you can see, the DMAIC is going to be for existing processes that you already have. You're going to define, measure, and analyze, and that's the same on both sides. You got to define what you're after, then you got to measure what you currently have, and then you got to analyze what you currently have, and then you got to see how you can improve it, and then you got to put controls in to actually be able to control it from that point going forward. Now, there's some confusion, and there's some people who will say that, well, Six Sigma is really not lean because it doesn't help you in the implementation and the first designing of equipment. And there's two sides to it, as always, but that's where the DMADV is going to come in, because it's the same thing. You're going to define what you want, then you're going to measure it, and you're going to analyze it. But then you're going to develop and then verify. So you're in the development phase of something. So you can implement Six Sigma whenever you're first designing equipment and machinery and processes. So it can be used on both sides. It can be used to improve existing processes, and it can be used to improve new processes before they even get out there. So just to kind of summarize what we've gone over so far, really Six Sigma is just, it's moving your processes from a normal distribution curve to a Six Sigma curve. That's all you're looking to do. You're looking to improve the process so much that all the defects that come off of there, or all the variabilities that come off of there, all the variations that come off of there, are all within Six Sigma, not 3 Sigma, which means you have to have a much tighter process so everything falls within, per se, a customer spec. And if you want to look at it that way, you can look at your customer spec is going to be your mean, which is going to be the center point of the curve. And let's go back and look at that. So this is your mean right here, this X right here. That's going to be what they call the mean. That's the midpoint. If you were making something that was 40 inches long, that would be the target right there. And your spec is going to be where it gets down to this area, whether it's a 3 Sigma or a 6 Sigma. So if you're plus or minus an inch, let's say, then your process has to be capable of holding that. So what you want to do, instead of only having, 97.73% of your stuff being able to come into this plus or minus 1 inch, you're going to want 99.9997% of all the products that you make to come within that spec, which means you're only going to have 3.4 defects per million opportunities. All right, so that's sort of how that works. I just wanted to show you that curve real quick. So those are the basics for Six Sigma. That's sort of just, that's a quick hit. That's a quick summary of what Six Sigma is. All right, so if you're interested, more lean topics, more ideas, whether it's 5S, just-in-time, Kanban, visual system management, anything like that, some Six Sigma stuff, then you can visit leanmanufacturingsecrets.com. Get signed up for that free 5-part e-course that I have. And then there's also a book that goes along with that, along with a Lean Secrets newsletter as well. So if you want to get a good knowledge, a good in-depth, a good rounded knowledge to cover a bunch of different lean topics, not solely just focused in one direction, but give you a whole general overview of everything that you're going to need to know for lean manufacturing, then head on over there, leanmanufacturingsecrets.com, and get signed up, and you'll be started with that free course right there, and you'll be on your way to learning more lean topics. So thank you for listening and watching, and I look forward to working with you soon.